What is going on, comic book community? Welcome to another episode of Josh's Comics. Today we are reviewing this Omnibus by Brian Michael Bendis. It is volume 1 of his Daredevil. I'm extremely happy to jump into this. Stay tuned on this episode to find out about this great book. Alright guys, so we're going to jump into this. This Daredevil is one of my favorite Daredevils. One of the most, modern Daredevils. And it's by Brian Michael Bendis, who, in my opinion, I love his writing. Some people don't. Some people consider his earlier work better and his later work not. I enjoy it. I enjoyed his Daredevil run. I enjoyed his run on New Avengers. So I'm happy. This collects Daredevil issue number 16 through 19, 26 through 50, and 56 through 60. So it does skip around a little bit, but it's a great book. And I love some of these older Marvel omnis that actually show you the covers, all of the covers for the issues that are in here. So that's great. Smaller book. This is going to be a part 1, so that means next week's Omni is going to be the follow-up to his volume 2. This is the original print. Original. Both are going to be original prints that I picked up. I think they've been restocked, or they, reprinted a few times, if I'm not mistaken, maybe once or twice. I had to pay, so for the price on the back of this is $100. I paid a little bit over that because these were out of print at the time. And like I've said, out of print omnis tend to go for a little bit more money. That's just the way it goes. So, and some of these omnis, like I said, have great art. Look at that, Spider-Man and Daredevil, really great. And if you're wondering why it starts from issue 16, because he took the run over. Marvel Knights is actually another army that comes before this, where Kevin Smith actually was writing on Daredevil a little bit. And but yeah. And Brian's story, I mean, this is what why they did take some stories from Frank Miller's run for Daredevil for the Netflix show. The Netflix show is heavily inspired off of Brian's run. So let's just go ahead and start it. Actually, let me read the back flap for you so you get an idea of the story. So it's pretty much Daredevil. They're exploring his backstory. Showing you what makes him tick, what makes him, go off edge, what makes him the man without fear and everything. And again, great artwork. We're just going to flip through some of this. If I'm not mistaken, down here I believe that is Ben Urch, writer for the Daily Bugle. And the artwork in here, at first, it's a little bit off. You know what I mean? Like, it's a little bit different from what I'm used to. But then it does end up getting better. Well, I wouldn't say get better, but you get used to it. And it's kind of a cool way they do the artwork. That's a great shot right there. In this run, actually, Echo is introduced. So you get her, you get her in here. You get to see these different stories. I think the first few issues are like one-shots, if I'm not mistaken. So let's kind of like, I think I just, yeah. So you get an idea of what it looks like. Some of my favorite stories are in here. I haven't read this in a while, though. But I love, how they always have, Matt Murdock with the red glasses. Oh, there you go. What's it? Owlman or whatever is in here. That was interesting. He's, in the first few issues of the original Daredevil. So it was kind of interesting to see him show up in here. And I believe at the time right now, Kingpin doesn't show up into Volume 2, and I think his son is technically trying to take over. I don't want to spoil it because Volume 2 is where it gets really, really good. But yeah, you know, great artwork. Daredevil's, you know, love the suit. That's a nice shot right there. I love. And if you see like Matt over here, he ends up meeting a woman. I forget her name. She's blind like Matt. Well, again, Matt's not very blind technically, is he? He can see in weird ways, but she's blind. She falls in love with Matt. Matt actually, might as well spoil it now. He gets married to this woman, and of course things do not end out well. We'll get to that in Volume 2, though. Let's see. More great artwork. And like I said, you get used to the artwork in this. You do. You really do. I think that's a great... I love this page right here. A great fight scene. Up here, if I'm not mistaken, that is Kingpin. I don't... Yeah. So I'm gonna take this over for a minute here because I want to see, and that's actually Bullseye right there. So Bullseye is like, you know, Karen Page. He killed Karen Page. So Bullseye is, this is a great shot. I love that shot. Bullseye finds out about Matt's being married again, and he, you know, ends up going after Matt's new love interest, and you know how that happens, and, you know. Here is a Kingpin fight, and I love this. So this is what happens. They get into it, and literally it's like the Netflix show, like how they get into the brawl at the end. And, so this kind of takes from the Hawkeye show. Matt gets into a car and runs him into the building. And literally does a number on Kingpin. Now, supposedly, like, Matt, you know, fucks him up. Matt supposedly kills him. And, see, you don't find that out. Yeah, so right there at that end, I know, guys, I'm just skipping through this stuff. So yeah, what happens is right at that last panel you saw with Kingpin laying, that ends like the actual story, and then the next couple of stories in here are just like one-shots pretty much. Oh, that's a great cover. Oh, not a great cover, great picture with Iron Fist, I think Luke Cage, Spider-Man, and Matt in the front. So that ends it for Volume 2, right? A couple issues forward, backwards, and yeah. So, you know, Volume 2 is really, really good. It really steps things up. Another great shot. Kind of like the Heroes for Hire. And then in here we also have, like, they have sketches, beautiful artwork, sketches of the comic. Yeah, it's hard to do this. Sketches, they have, yeah, you really can't see it, the lighting's kind of off. They have the sketches, they show how to, you know, how the comic goes panel by panel. Feel a lot of flipping here. Definitely a lot of great sketches and artwork. I think we might have some... probably not. I was hoping they were going to show some some of the covers, except for the back they have. So that's it for my review for Volume 1 of Brian Michael Bendis' Daredevil. I will say when this book, so this book, as you can see, like up here on the spine, you can see that. So this is a bit of a reader copy. It's a little bit chipped up here too. It was a used one, but it's still a great book. And my thing is, I don't mind picking up an Omni that's already been read and used. My only thing I ask, two things I ask for, is one, for the sleeve to be with it, to have the sleeve, and for the sleeve to be in decent shape. You can see that waved up a little bit. I'm okay with that. I don't mind that as long as it's not too bad and broken up. And then as long as also the inside, which is the binding, as long as this isn't broken, and this has had some wear and tear on it. I like this size of Omni. I mean, even though for $100, some people might say not. I think this is a good, decent size. I like my Omnis to be at least this size and maybe a little bit bigger if they're doing multiple volumes. I mean, books that are giant and huge, it's hard to read because you gotta read through so many, and then you gotta try to, not damage the spine. But overall, I think for a book that I think this came out in 2001 or 2002. I'm happy with it. I'm very happy, and I think this is one of the better Daredevil runs. And honestly, I have, if you look in the background, I have Frank Miller's run. I have his companion Omni. I have Volume 1 and 2 of Michael's run. I have Ed Brubaker's Volume 1, Volume 2, I'm sure is getting a reprint just like that one did. And that Volume 1 of Ed Brubaker's run, which when we get to Volume 2 of this, the ending leaves it open. An amazing cliffhanger, and Ed Brubaker runs with that. And I can't wait to share that in the next couple of weeks or months here on the channel. But I also have Charles Soule's full run of Daredevil as well. There is a Shadowland Omnibus, which is where Daredevil and Elektra take over like the hand. I heard that wasn't as well received, but if that ever gets a reprint, I would love to pick that up. Anna Nicole, I believe her name is, she did Daredevil run that people are asking for her run to be an Omni. I would probably pick that up eventually. And Chip Zdarsky, who is currently running his series, I think it's getting ready to end in a few issues in a couple months. I'm sure the Omniverse is going to be following hot behind that because it's a well-received run. People are loving it. I cannot wait to jump into Chip's run. I've heard nothing but great stuff about his. But yeah, Daredevil is one of my favorite characters, guys. If you can get your hands on this Omni, or if you already have it, or if you have the issues, you already know that the Brian's run is dark. And the artwork, like I said, it grows on you. You get used to it. Volume 2 has some surprises in it. And that cliffhanger at the end of Volume 2 is just like, it's really good. And I can't wait to review that next week. So yeah, that's it for today's review. Do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And no current announcements as of now. We'll just keep on going out on the hunt, looking for books, picking stuff up, and yeah. So until next time, stay safe, take care of each other, and we will always see you guys in the next episode of Josh's Comics.